Hello again, YouTube. What have we here? We have a portion of this DeLorean's air conditioning system. It has all been put back together, new compressor, new condenser, everything else is less than 10 years old. It was all vacuumed down, leak-free, in spite of a giant source of a leak. When testing for leaks, this was leaking. And when I went to check the Schrader valve, the cap was cross-threaded just like it is here. And instead of the cap coming off, this whole thing came off. I didn't notice what was turning until it was too late. When the end of the thread let go, phew! Pressurized air and oil went everywhere. Oil got all over the engine cover. Oil got all over the louvers. Oil got on the garage door. Got on me. Stuff tastes terrible, by the way. So the only thing I could do was to put a spare Schrader valve. I'll say that 10 times fast later for practice. Put it in this old R12 fitting, capped it, and went about my business. And the system works now. I drove yesterday, enjoyed the air conditioning the whole way. It's hot down here in South Florida. It's hot right now. It's 10:30 in the morning, and I'm standing in the garage sweating to impart this information to you. So important. My sacrifice. No, it isn't. But I have just about had it with R12 to R134 adapters. These hoses came from a vendor several years ago. The vendor makes R12 hoses, and he makes R134 hoses. And he makes R134 hoses by putting adapters on. And it looks to me like there's red Loctite in there. But eventually, I suppose, in the presence of compressor oil or heat or whatever it is, the Loctite gives up. And I have an R134 compressor. There's no reason to have R12 fittings with adapters. There are also, now that I have a compressor on here that is not stock, no reason to have these 90-degree bends to the back of the compressor. So, as I said, the AC works. I'm leaving it alone for now. But long term, this is my plan. I'm going to make new AC hoses with straight fittings on the end, with R134 service ports, not R12 with adapters. And what is this? This is not the kind of fitting we need for that plate back there. Oh no, it isn't. Because I'm going to put this head on there. And then I will be able to have my straight hoses that go right to the back of the compressor, All right, now which am I gonna look through the camera or am I gonna look at what I'm doing? Okay. Anyway, so I'll have I'll just point the service fittings up like that. And ta-da! No, that's the mirror image actually. It's gonna look like this. It's hard to do this one-handed. Anyway, so it'll look like that. Eventually. Eventually. Like I said, the system works right now. So I'm not messing with it. But I do have the parts. Oh, and by the way, from the same company, I got new pigtails for the high pressure and low pressure switches. $2.50 each. What a deal. Can I do this one-handed? I guess I can. Alright, so here's the current problem. This is what I drained from the system before changing the radiator. Well, it's a portion of the fluid. It's the last fluid I got out before changing the radiator. Took the old radiator off, put the new radiator on, flushed clean water through the system backwards, flushed clean water through the system forwards, drained it, filled it, went for a drive. The temperature held steady. It didn't really get above about 205 degrees according to the gauge. So then I came home and I decided to inspect the fluid. That's what I got. As clean as the fluid is, all I have to do is get the engine up to temperature and run it for a while, and more contaminants get into the system. I have no idea how long this engine sat unused, allowing corrosion to build up on the cylinder liners. But it sure looks like every time I get this engine up to temperature, more rust is shed from the cylinder liners. Because there is no difference in color between what came out before the new radiator went in and everything was flushed out and what I got out yesterday afternoon. I am concerned that the new aluminum radiator has smaller passages for coolant to flow through. Which you can just about... No, you can't. It's too dark. Never mind. I was going to show it to you. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that the new radiator has smaller passages than the old brass one. So I'm really concerned about plugging up the new radiator. But I think the only thing I can do is just keep driving this car 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time, pull fluid out of the system, put new fluid in, and repeat until it comes out clean. That's it for now.